Hello everybody, Seek and Destroy here with another episode of Dota 2 Weekly. Joining me in order is Bandit Durd, also known as Jordan.
Hi.
You want to wave to everybody? That's better than the outfit you had on earlier.
Hater.
Mr. Tracer, also known as Victor.
Hello.
Armen, Marco.
Sup?
And Mick, also known as Mike. Very, very big name change there.
It's really tough for me to remember sometimes.
Okay. What? Wow. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the international qualifiers. Again. Always.
Lots of teams qualified, huh?
I'm going to start with the big news first. Alright.
Besides us talking about Arrow again. For the
Arrow.
umpteenth time.
Well, that's the thing. Arrow, definitely big Dotas last week. Let's see here. So, what was it? In the upper bracket, Arrow beat MVP. And then from there, in the finals, Arrow beat MVP. So, I guess the prediction for Arrow, definitely one of those big-time things. It kind of makes me wonder, because I believe we talked about last time, where the hell did these guys come from?
Look at, real quick, just LGD CIS round 1 upper bracket. For the final, LGD CIS. Eastern or Southeast Asia, Arrow MVP, and then Arrow MVP again. And you've got NAR versus Liquid. NAR, it's just, we're repeating the finals and the upper bracket finals on every single one. It's just been a repeat play over. It happened
Pretty
3
much.
times.
Yeah,
It's like
clear.
the top two teams of each region are the top two teams of each region, and they wind up playing each other for the top 2 spots in each region.
It's amazing. So,
It's just, it works.
Just as planned.
is it a giant plan? It's all a conspiracy, I believe.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, Arrow and their awesome Malaysian team completely trumps everybody, including MVP. Orange didn't even make it into the playoffs, which go figure, because Orange.
It's disappointing.
Yeah, I think it's sad. I mean, they're a decent team, or they were, or have been. It's just one of those that just not a good showing.
Yeah, not at all. And I mean, I would have expected more out of Orange, but Arrow taking it. I think they only had 2 losses. Yeah, 2 losses, and not bad. I feel like that one was completely as planned, though, because we had talked about last time about how Arrow had completely demolished all that, and just one of them things, I guess. A big one I want to talk about. I'm sorry, I'm really excited about this. LGD in China, the China Qualifiers.
Oh god, the rat Dota. My head already hurts.
Oh yeah. So LGD takes the upper bracket yet again against CIS. Took it in the first round, took it in the last round. Tong Fu, who I would have expected a lot more out of.
Yeah, they flopped a bit.
Oh, they flopped so hard.
It is Chinese Dota, aka Rat Dota Supreme, so...
Oh, most
Depends
definitely.
who Rat Dota is the best.
Well, it's true,
It's
and you can.
changed a little bit because it wasn't necessarily rat Dota. It was farming Dota, and then it was just whoever farmed the fastest in that 60 minutes just bowled over.
2.5 hours.
It's a little bit more entertaining than farming Dota, just a little.
Well, yeah, but then you have to look at their opening game when you had CIS facing New Element for 156 minutes, with people ending games with their Morphling with like 15,000 gold and 1,367 last hits. Little ridiculous.
Oh, most definitely. Now, I feel like the whole thing with that is, so what were we...
Screwed.
What was our compendium predictions to begin with?
Oh,
I've actually changed mine, so all of you are screwed either way.
No, I maxed mine as soon as I heard that.
yeah.
Yep.
So, let's see here. In the
We called it. We kind of did call it by saying Chinese are gonna screw us over completely.
that is completely true. Honestly, I believe that was something that came out of everyone's mouth last time.
Pretty much, we never know what they're gonna do. Each time they do something different. Is it Rat Dota? Is it Farming Dota? Is it early game push Dota? Anything's possible with them.
Well, see, here's the thing. So, in the lower bracket was Tong Fu versus DT. DT won. CIS, which Let me look at CIS real quick. CIS did pretty good, but they just didn't have enough to pull it out. I was really surprised at CIS's showing as well. They definitely did better than I would have expected out of them. So anyways, Chinese bracket. So CIS goes to the upper bracket and loses to LGD 3-1 yet again. So LGD definitely the biggest one out of the Chinese. I mean, I look forward to seeing how some of these people, especially in the wild card play-ins, are going to be.
Oh yeah, they're going to be going up against radically different strategies, especially if you've seen any of the European. Well, I mean, we should have, but yeah, it's going to be ridiculous. I don't know how they're going to go against that early game harass.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's honestly why I don't think. I mean, you've had, aside from IG, it's one of those. It's always been something where it's a little bit more action packed. That's won because it's really tough to, if you lose that early game, unless they back off on the pressure and let you just farm, it's really tough to combat it. It is.
So, do you feel like Chinese Dota is gonna fall against some of these other teams then in the qualifier or in the wild card?
Yes, specifically because earlier today we had I think Team Coast going against the Power Rangers, and they had the Power Rangers had like 3 farming heroes, while Mouse Sports Team Coast, or no, Team Coast had the farming heroes, and Power Rangers had like these early push heroes, and they punished them for it.
Oh yeah, completely. I believe I know which one you're talking about, actually. The thing is, though, is that especially these Chinese teams, I feel like they forget, like, the Dota, and I remember playing in some of the, especially the Eastern European areas, just the playstyles are so different.
It's very aggressive.
If you join the servers over there, it's a completely different world. Do you all remember, what's his name? The Australian we used to play with all the time. Strider, yes. Strider, he used to play, and he was so thrown off every single time by the playstyle in America. Because they have a tendency to rice a lot more, and it causes a lot more problems, too. So, it makes me wonder, ultimately, about the overall strategy some of these Chinese teams, and if they're going to be wiped out pretty hard if they're not doing the harassing, all this 4 protect 1 kind of stuff. And
that's it. It's a lot of these strategies with the European isn't necessarily about securing farm as much as it is making room for farm. I'm going to explain that. It's by disrupting what they're doing. It's basically trusting you're going to be creating enough space, not necessarily by protecting, but being the opposite, by overtly going
being aggressive, yes,
breaking it up,
having the map control,
setting up opportunities. Yeah,
so it's not necessarily about out farming other people like it is in the Chinese scene as much as it is about stopping the other team from farming. It's
it's controlling the other team's game opposed to just playing your own game, which is what a lot of Chinese Dota is. You're going to play your game and you're going to disregard the enemy team until you're sure you can handle them. It's level 1. Build the comp that can handle the enemy team and go for them right off the bat.
Well, it reminds me of that old saying, that old D&D saying, which I'm sure Tracer knows. You don't have to be the fastest person in the party. You just don't have to be the slowest. And that's kind of the way I feel about it.
That works in bear attacks, too.
Really?
Pretty much.
Yeah, as long as the fat guy trips behind you, you're good. Just keep running.
Bear attacks, zombie attacks.
You just yell out back when he trips. It's like, try to be Chewy.
The man. Good one, Tracer. Oh, man.
I shouldn't be rewarding that joke, but I'm going to.
Oh, wow.
Go like a video on his channel for good's sake.
Yeah. So far, we're looking at, in the wild card spot, Team Liquid, MVP, and CIS. What I'm looking at right now...
It's probably going to be Mouse as well.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. Mouse is... Team Liquid's done good, but they've fallen off so hard. I feel like Mouse probably should have gotten an invite, but also Rock's Kiss probably should have. It should have been Mouse and the wild card winners bracket and Rock's Kiss somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'm surprised they let some of the other teams go in over them.
VC. I feel like EG probably has it, but going over some of them. God, let me think here. Some of the people in here. Fnatic's done alright, actually, but I haven't seen the best showing out of them. DK. What was it? Mars TV did a playoff series yesterday, I believe, which was actually during the internationals, or during the qualifiers. Caused a big stink. But I was sitting here looking at it, and Newbie actually swept DK 2-0. LGD beat VC 2-1, and then Newbie beat LGD 2-0 in the final round.
Yeah,
So,
Newbie's doing pretty well for themselves.
yeah. Oh, yeah, Newbie's done great. Which, by the way, I know I have at least one in there for one of Newbie's team in my draft. I can't remember who it is now.
Oh, so maybe you'll start getting a point soon.
I'd like to have over 0 points.
Same here. At least my opponent doesn't have any points either, so we're kind of stalemate.
Yeah, oh yeah. So, back to the whole thing, though. Newbie's definitely had a strong showing, and it kind of shows what they can do in the future. But the point that LGD beat VC, why I keep saying VC, VG, is kind of a big deal, though. But what really concerns me is Newbie, swamped DK and stuff like that. And I feel like it's one of those things, though, that some of these people that are in maybe shouldn't be. Some of the people that are not in probably should.
We gotta remember that part of the reason the teams are in there as well isn't necessarily because they're the best. I'll say that right now. Some of these teams get invites because of their players and how popular they are. There's probably better players out there. If you were to actually go check every league and every tournament, you'd find better players. But it's like Na'Vi is a great team. Don't get me wrong, great, fantastic team. But they will always have a place in Dota as long as Dendi and Puppy are on their team because of how popular they are.
I agree with that. And that's the thing. Popularity just stems from TI2, I guess.
TI1.
TI1. Well, didn't they? Oh yeah, you're right. TI1. And everything that they've done.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's a reason they call it hooks like Dendi and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly right. They have such a fan base now where if you were to not put them in, if there was a better European team and Na'Vi had to fight their way up through the qualifiers, well, you'd lose viewership, and part of it is still a business, right?
Well, that's true, but that's the thing, though.
You got to look at the teams that are in the qualifiers. I mean, you are not in qualifiers. We're invited. I mean, you've got teams like Fnatic that have the No Tails. You've got Cloud9 with the Sing Sings and stuff like that. I mean, there's so many out there where you just have those dynamic characters. And I'm not just saying in game. If you watch those guys stream, if you watch them in the even the Dota 2 lounge that they've been doing on the couch with all that stuff, they're just entertainers. I mean, it's not just from their play style; it's just their personalities. And as you said, it's a popularity thing. And
the biggest thing that
love all those
shows.
Teams, but, pardon?
The biggest one that showed everyone that European players are kind of wacky, still that is in my mind, is Dendi's running out during the international free and playing Gangnam Dance in front of the enemy team because he landed a hook.
Yeah. No, it's 100% like that.
Yeah.
You can look at SteelSeries. Who do they currently have contracts with for pro gaming equipment? Well, Fnatic, Na'Vi.
Oh, guys, guess what?
Oh.
My headset's SteelSeries. So
there you go. How much SteelSeries do we have here? Sponsor us.
Right. We need all those new gaming mouses for our recording of Skype.
Oh, seriously, I will flaunt SteelSeries like nobody's business if you send me equipment. I will just...
Actually, I've been looking at some of the Corsair.
I do need a new headset. I do.
Yeah, well, I could use one that's like this one. There's no nice logos or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants some with a large logo that's glowing.
Look at this advertising space right here.
Wow. So then, but that's the thing though. If we're back on topic, if we're talking about the internationals, then are we talking about which one's the best team? Are we talking about? I mean, are we turning this into like some sort of wrestling show? You get what I mean?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Entertainment's entertainment, though. I mean, it's
Like
Theoretically, though, even let's say theoretically the top 10 people are all entertainers and aren't the best in their league. The qualifiers should make up for that, so that the best teams will end up being in there and winning.
Well, but that's the thing.
Janet said it. It's not like they're not good teams. I mean, the ones in there, it's not like any team made it on there that hasn't, played well. It's just there's more to it than just your record. Yeah. I just think what it comes down to.
I think personally, I would rather see the best teams go, and for that matter, if Navi was in the qualifiers, I feel like it probably would have brought a bigger group to the qualifiers for sure. So let's see here. On to the next. What is? Oh yeah. So we were talking about the European bracket. Rock's Kiss. Now, see, there's another one that I'm talking about. Now, Sports was in last year. Rock's Kiss. Rock's Kiss. They made it through the. They made it through last year through a wild card spot, right?
I think so.
See.
I'm not sure actually.
I don't think so. The qualified teams were Mouse, LGD, Rattlesnake. The rest of them, you had Tongfu, Liquid, Orange, Navi, Fnatic, Alliance, Zenith, Dignitas, Virtus, MUFC, LGD, International, and DK.
See, and again, that's kind of bringing up what I mean is the problem, because there's no regulation of this. Like, watch how many teams get swapped out every year. How many people just, there's no trade regulation to say that this team can't just go get all the best players. If they've got the sponsors to pay for it, they can sway guys over to their side. Because there's no regulation in this sport yet. You're going to get this where it's, like, half those teams you listed, they weren't even qualifiers because the teams don't exist anymore.
Well, yeah, pretty much. They're, all spread out now.
Did Rockskiss lose the qualifier last year, then? They were in the qualifier at least last year.
Let's see.
They would have had to have been in the European, of course.
I can just check the old compendium.
Yeah, that works too.
Rock's Kiss's first tournament was in 2013 of March. They were not in.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's what I mean, is they're kind of like a newer team. That's
pretty much
just
like Arrow.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Alright, so, Rock's Kiss and Mouse Sports, that's tomorrow, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the things. I think I saw them play already, and I believe Rock's Kiss is the ones... it's the only loss that Mouse had to. Anybody in the tournament was Rock's Kiss.
Correct.
Rock's Kiss is, 9-0, and then Mouse is 8-1. Do you think we're going to see a repeat through all four brackets where Rock's Kiss is going to be the upper bracket winners, and then the wild card's going to go to Mouse?
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
It seems like that's what'll happen now. Both teams are playing kind of similar. Rock's just played a better game than Mouse that one.
Agreed. Some of the other ones, Virtus Pro. I would have expected a little more out of Virtus Pro.
I still think that Team Coast, because I have a feeling that Rox will still win it, but Team Coast has a chance to take out Mouse from what I've seen. Like, near the end of their games today, they fell off, but at the beginning, they were really strong.
Yeah, see, I think that's going to be a big thing, too. There's definitely more going on in the European bracket, and nobody decisive except for Rockskiss.
So, can we drill down a little further into actually some of the games they played? I don't know if you guys watched them, but some of the picks on the European teams have just been... They've been fantastically not at all what I expected. And the Mouse Sport Rocks game, like their last game, was a really good example. we saw Sniper play in tournament play.
I think
With-
Chris was
Mhm.
pretty psyched about that.
Yeah. Like, we saw a Sniper, Skywrath, Sand King, Juggernaut, and Bristleback on the Radiant side for Rock's Kiss, and then on the other side, Alina, Tusk, Earthshaker, Huskar, Bounty Hunter. And some of the abilities that were being pulled off were just... I am so stoked to watch these two teams continue going, because I don't think a lot of the other areas of the world can compete with what they were doing today.
Yeah, because what is it? The U.S. had very, very similar picks all the way throughout the entire qualifiers between every team, and then China had a similar thing. They were different. There were different heroes, but then throughout the entire qualifier, a lot of them, all the Chinese usually pick the same pool of heroes, and yeah, Europe was just off the wall with some of their picks.
Well, and
Yeah, well, that's the
the play was
difference,
so
like-
good too.
Oh, yeah, we were...
Pocket scratch are the most entertaining part. Like when they just pull out something, you're like, what in the world? And then there's just some combo. It's like ability draft. It's like one of those things where you just get those combos. You're like, I didn't think about that, but it's freaking amazing.
Some
the
of
best
those
one the best one I saw today watching was I want to say that it was the Mouse Sports versus Rock Kiss, and their Sand King being played by BZZ landed just a fantastic ult on Tusk, Lina, and I want to say Huskar right by their own towers. And it looked like it was just a complete team wipe until the Tusk, and I had never thought of using his new ability since they changed Snowball. Just snowballed the whole team up and let him sit there, and they just waited out the ult. Came out at almost full health and just wiped, like counter-initiated and wiped the whole other team out. Like, you're seeing such good play out of these teams. It's fantastic.
That Tusk snowball is sick. Now.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed.
It's like a disruption that you can use on your whole team. Like it's
For
really-
free.
Well, see, here's the thing, too, is that I believe last time we said we didn't think we'd ever see Alina get played. And saw Alina. Sniper was one I think we specifically talked about.
We did.
And Sniper coming out is, like, amazing. Like, I don't know if the innovation...
They must have watched your video, Seek. and
Yeah,
said,
that's what it is.
Let's troll them. Let's troll them right now and pick Sniper in our lineup.
And win at that. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
pretty good. The thing is, though, is that I feel like with the innovation and all that, the more traditional play of some of these other teams like LGD and stuff like that, it even makes me wonder about Newbie and some of these other teams going in that are already in. If Roxkiss isn't going to just completely, like, and a lot of the other European and U.S. teams aren't going to completely, like, change the outcome of it. I could see European and U.S. teams being in the top three.
Well, I'm hoping that the other teams are watching, because there are teams in the European qualifiers who have been picking pretty standard lineups, like Mirana, Shadow Demon, like Shadow Fiend, all the things we saw in the Americans and China. And then they're playing the teams who are being a little more innovative, picking, invokers and snipers and things like that. And they're getting stomped. And it's really surprising that the meta game that we saw getting played out of the other regions is just getting shattered in EU.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Chinese face off against Europe players, especially because they're going to have to do something different. They won't be able to do their calm and normal farming game like they would against other Chinese teams that just let them do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm definitely a big, America's, type
America.
person. Yeah, America. But, just some of these teams, like I said, especially like, NAR and Liquid, stuff like that. But what's really shocking me is all these European teams and some of the new stuff they're doing. I feel like, Europe's going to be the big winner out of this. They have all the...
I think so too. But a lot of it will just come down to straight synergy of the team, and Europe also is coming out with some of the best synergy out of all the players together than any of the other regions as well. Because there's a few games back in China where a lot of the wins, the team fights, just came down to one or two things that they didn't synergize well.
Mhm.
And they lost the team fight, and then the other team ended up, just kept winning more and more team fights. While in Europe, the team fights seem to just synergize. It just seemed to be better, even from the losing side of a team fight. Like they just played better.
Yeah, it was always close. Like team wipes
Yeah.
weren't one-sided always, like a team wipe and the other side's completely fine. It was like very close sometimes.
Well, with Europe doing so well, does that kind of make you wonder if it's going to be one of those things to where they're going to be a step ahead? It kind of takes out the whole banning phase if you're going to have these heroes that nobody else is going to pick. And then on top of that, all this stuff where you can synergize with these extra heroes that nobody's expecting, that nobody's really played against on a professional level. It kind of makes me wonder. I think Europe might actually have a very good chance of like placing pretty high, like majority of the teams, if this is the way they're going to play.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Because they've also shown in that region as well that they can go back to that. There has been a couple teams that have won games with Lycan and those heroes that we've been seeing banned everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So sure, ban them out. They're going to go for their weird picks, and they're still going to they're still going to have a really good chance because they've proven they can do it. Or ban their really weird picks. They're going to go for the traditional and still do well.
There's a quote out of a movie. It's a surf movie called Chasing Mavericks, and they talk about how regular surfing it works. Just go with it. Regular surfing is about how you react when everything's going perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Mavericks, because there's giant freaking waves, are about how you act when everything's going wrong, about that one mistake, that one thing. And it really seems like European Dota is like, you know what? Try and screw with what I'm doing. I'm going to pick something else, and we're going to roll with it, and it's going to be awesome. The Chinese Dota is like, all right, our gears are turning, everything's grease, and everything's going how it should be, and then we're just going to go straight at it. But once you throw that kink in it, it's like they're completely screwed. And it really is. It seems like that European Dota is more that reactionary of, all right, well, it's not exactly how we want it to be, but we're going to make these clutch decisions, and we're going to pull something out of our hat that no one's ready for.
Yes, their hat, that's where they're going to pull it out of.
Yeah.
It's a family
It's all
friendly
about
show.
hats and Dota, isn't it?
Yeah, about that. Okay, so we're definitely predicting Roxkis to take it, and I think maybe Mouse may have a chance, but I feel like it's definitely going to be, it's either going to be Mouse or Ghost. I think that's definitely one of the big things.
Yeah, my vote's for Rox. I'll take the number 1, and Coast or Mouse for number 2.
Yeah.
No differing opinions on this?
No.
Oh man, gotta love it. Okay, so we were talking about the compendiums and how they Chinese completely wrecked the compendiums. I believe now the brackets are closed, and most people, I hope
Are
you all
crying.
Yeah, I hope a couple of people heeded the warnings about how Chinese Dota was going to destroy everything. And with the new compendiums, I'm in shock. I'm in shock. I think Chinese Dota destroyed a lot of them, like most pick, least pick, etc., etc. But also,
Most lessons, and so on.
in most banned. But also, the thing that kills me is with these European teams, it probably destroyed a lot of the hero picks too. The percentages really hard.
Yeah,
the-
pretty much.
The big one I was thinking that number of heroes never picked across the board. That one is totally pooched now because there was so many people who were like, yeah, now there are going to be like 20 heroes that are never picked. Nope.
I was like
Gone.
5.
Like one.
Last year it was like 40 to 45 that weren't picked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
after all the changes, the patches, now people are trying to vary their combos, try new things.
And I
They're
mean,
gonna-
it's the
yeah.
natural progression of Dota, of course.
Yeah.
You
What are
want new things.
Well, I guess Sniper got picked, so that kind of puts that at a difference. What were some of the other ones that are probably never going to get picked?
Well, we saw a Sniper, we saw Lena. A Bounty Hunter is not irregular, but it was a little different to see.
There wasn't a Tusk there. There wasn't a Tusk in a long time.
Yeah, Tusk was... I don't even know if Tusk was available last time.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
But before that snowball change, he would never have been picked.
Yeah.
No, you're right, he wouldn't have. Like, that is why, 100%.
Game evolves pretty rapidly and makes different choices.
Coast ran a Timber Saw
it's even
once or twice.
Like Coddle, yeah, he paired with Lancer pretty well, but it was something where that Ags change not just made him a good pick, but he's a great
Made him a
pick
great
since
pick,
he
yeah.
can farm and support PL at the same time. Like it's just, and that freaking heal out of that it's such a great change, and it makes a hero that's good into like something that's freaking great. Like they did such a great job with these last couple balances to give those heroes that were just kind of on the line to where that final little bump to send them over.
Yeah, kind of makes me cry. Yeah, my compendium is wrecked.
So far, I'm going through the heroes, and I only think of 3 that I know I haven't seen for sure. There's the Beastmaster, Brood, and Razor. I don't know if
I've seen a Razor.
I've seen a Razor.
I have seen at least
Razor
one
was
Razor.
in there. Beastmaster, who used to be really popular. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
He fell off.
Yeah.
I've seen 1 or 2 Razors. I've seen very few Templar Assassins, which used to be pretty okay.
I've seen at least one Templar Assassin. Yeah, I've seen Huskar quite a bit actually. Especially in the Chinese Dota.
What about Omni?
I haven't seen
Omni.
an Omni.
I've seen an Omni. He lost, but he was there.
He was
Zeus?
there. Zeus, haven't seen. Definitely haven't seen a Zeus.
Zeus. I don't think I've seen a Zeus.
Like leading up to it, so I'm just kind of waiting.
Well, I think Zeus would be. I think it'd be innovative for them to use a Zeus.
Especially with his new change, because he's the best support now if he wants to de-ward.
Yeah, he could go into a 5 spot.
I was playing Zeus as a support before he did that.
I was playing Zeus before he was Zeus.
It was Sing Sing who had a Zeus in that, like, the stand where they defended against, like, they had 1 Rax left. Not a set. Like, they had 1 Rax left. They fended it off the whole game and came back. And I think it was a Zeus game. Sing Sing had him. Yeah, I mean, it's the is it Static Field? Is that his passive?
Yeah. 5% damage.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay, I'm calling it right now. Dandy's next mid hero is gonna be Bloodseeker.
Bloodseeker?
Really?
Yep.
I hope not.
I really
let's
hope so.
see.
Or Puppy will let him finally play with mid.
It's
With
top
Smith.
3 at the moment. I think it has up here
That's
in the
one
compendium.
That's one we haven't seen really at all. Pudge.
No, we haven't.
We haven't seen a Pudge yet.
He's
Well,
been
it's-
playing lately in 2014 Storm, Invoker, and Puck.
Puck. Yeah, I saw a Puck game with
I
him.
really hope Dandy innovates and goes something strange again. Because that's what he always does. Like last International, the one before, he always would go something different.
Yeah.
We saw the Pudge first, then we saw the other ones.
That's one that I hadn't seen a whole lot of. That it's run okay when I've seen it. Is Night Stalker.
Yeah,
As well.
Night Stalker.
he's been playing a lot as a
changed
core.
the day-night cycle that people just don't. Not everyone's adjusted again to how to play them. Some people like farming through that first night, and I honestly like that better than trying to be active that first night. It's just farm.
The first night's hard because he needs at least like 3 levels in Mana Void to be effective at ganking.
Agreed.
It's just one of those, if you see the right spot, go for it. But I mean, you pretty much have to be guaranteed to get that kill, or else
Like
you
either a
just get
double
so-
damage rune or a haste is necessary.
Yeah.
Well, alright guys, I think we're going to take a quick break, and when we reset, we're going to go ahead and go over the Fantasy League.
Oh, all right.
Fantasy League sounds
I have
awesome.
a lot to talk about with the fantasy.
Oh, dear God. Hate you, Mick. Alright. Alright, we're back for the conclusion of Dota 2 Weekly. Let's start talking about the Fantasy League and how this kind of affects everything.
Well, we trash talk a lot more now.
Yeah, and insult each other.
I've called Mike all kinds of names because of people he took from my team.
Which Mike?
Only one of them.
Trap.
Only one of them. The other
He
one.
took all 2,000 from me.
You were like, you're not going to
Listen.
take my other one because no one's going to take him. You bastard!
You can't have it! Oh.
Yeah, you guys love to see the banter between my friends picking. Because literally everyone stole each other's guys. Like, it was
that's
so
what's
funny
happening.
hearing other people rage constantly. And I was like the only chill guy there, so I was like awkwardly picking random guys.
So,
What were we doing? We were in a game where we started losing because we noticed our draft time came up, and then all of us just tabbed out of the game to start picking our heroes, and then we all joined a Skype call together and started just swearing at each other. It was great.
yeah, this is the best Dota ever.
Who was so mad at us?
Kelman?
Kalman was pretty best.
No, it was Mystic. Mystic was pissed because he wasn't in the league, and we were all talking about it while we were playing, and we were getting crushed. Like, it was a bad game. It was horrible. Horrible. We were all like laughing about it. He's like, "What's everyone laughing about?" Like, this freaking sucks.
I pretty much raged also. I'm pretty sure I would have raged as well.
So, with some of these league picks and stuff like that, Mick, you want to go over your points real quick?
It's a big goose egg.
0-0.
You can put them right next to each other. It's
0.0.
Well, it's because I knew what I did. I picked all international teams. I just kind of that's kind of how I'm playing it. I'm not playing it as a fantasy league. I'm playing it as an international league. That's why I'm doing it. So it was one of those. I just have one person I need to beat. That's one. So if I win 1 week, I'm happy. So.
Yeah, you want to take a guess at who it is?
I know.
However, he has quite a bit on you, and next week I don't think either of you guys are playing, though, are they?
No, it's just 1 week. Week 4 I have to win. It's not any other week. It's not added points. It's that one isolated week. Week 4.
Ironically enough, Kelman, who has DK, Mushi. Yeah, Mushi from DK. And, who does he have from Invictus? I can't read. Chwan. Yeah, so he has these people that have actually played, but everybody else is 0-0-0-0. And me, on the other hand, who picked, let me see here. Picked Zay from Evil Genius, and yeah, I have Fear on here too. Who's casting the qualifiers. So no gaming from him.
Casting points. It'll be great.
Oh, too bad that's not. You didn't do that in the settings. There's no level.
That would actually be fun.
You gotta love all them casting points. I mean, I have a pretty beefy lineup here, but nobody's playing, so I am sitting at 0.0. Tally, do you want to actually join us, or are you just gonna pretend?
I'm turning my laptop on right now. Give me a minute.
That's alright, we're only at the end of the cast, so congratulations.
Yeah, you came to be left behind.
Can you see my camera? Tally, can you see my camera?
No.
Tally?
I can't see your camera, but I can see you.
Ha!
Okay, can you see this number? See this number? Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean this one?
That's what I was expecting.
Yeah, it's 3.
Okay,
Are you
1,
going
2,
somewhere with
3.
this, or?
How many is that?
Yeah, I'm just
That's
saying.
the time the started. Woo!
Exactly. Thank you.
Mike, why don't I have you on fucking Steam? I have everyone else in this call, I think.
So anyways, so with everything kind of the way it's going, I expect that the internationals, like first 4 weeks or so, Mick, are going to be like really low because everybody picked all these random teams or random people out of teams that are only playing in the international, it seems.
Yeah.
And then once the internationals start up, it's going to be all hell breaking loose. However, they're going to be, for those of you that joined fantasy leagues and didn't pick some of these other people that are actually playing games.
You're fucked.
Yeah. SOL, guys, SOL. Enjoy your 0 points, just like me.
Don't
So
worry,
what about-
just drop people.
What about those of us who picked teams that are playing now and then are in the international?
I wish I would have
Oh.
picked someone from Newbie.
It's only so much you can do, I suppose.
I wish I had my other LGD player playing this week, because then I would have had a lot more points.
Yeah.
And so, welcome to Nerds Trying to Do Sports Drafts. We don't think about... Because I did the same thing at first. Like, I've had somebody sitting on my bench the whole time that could have been in games making me points this week, and I totally forgot to put them in there.
Ta-da! And
Yep.
that's what
You
I like.
say nerds trying to do sports draft, but I would argue every fantasy league is full of a bunch of nerds. It's just not the same type.
This is like the first
Fantasy
fantasy
leagues are
draft.
quite possibly the nerdiest thing you can be a part of.
Fair enough. This is just the first fantasy league for our sport.
Hey guys, I like my
I think
fantasy
it's the
league.
second one, quote unquote.
I haven't done another one before.
Yeah. This is my first fantasy league I've ever participated in, and I feel
Lesser nerds!
Wow, that was super loud.
It was.
Nothing better than nerds flaming other nerds about being nerds.
You're a nerd.
Oh, man. That's so funny.
You're a towel.
You're a towel.
Holly, you can turn on your camera every now and then.
I'm turning my laptop on. I don't have one on my desktop.
Yeah, you know the ironic thing? I think now that we've talked about the league, is there anything else we have to talk about this week?
Actually, yes. Yes, we have one thing. So, Tally, you still have time, but we're going to go through this very quick. The new goals.
Oh,
the
yes, we need to go through
Oh, yeah.
these.
The ones that don't matter and that we're never going to hit.
Well,
the ones that are
we're
shit.
at, what, 6.8?
I
Well,
think we'll
6.7?
hit one of them.
Not even the
I
ones
know
we're
what-
not going to hit, but the fact that they have hidden goals. That is
goal.
Hidden goal.
No, there isn't going to be any new hidden goals just because, look, the way I see it, it was always like, it was 500,000 for a new goal to like 13 that was 6,000. Then I had a huge gap to 6.8. Why? When all the others are like by only 4,000 apart. So there was only one hidden
4,000.
goal.
Point-
They
There was
could
only
hide
one
somebody.
hidden goal.
And who did they hide, everybody?
Techies, of fucking course!
Now,
Yeah, we haven't.
it's techies that hide things. I get it. I got you.
Yeah, exactly.
so who here is excited about being able to suicide
So-
other players?
I'm just
I'm-
waiting for the tiny bomb.
Her
Oh,
favorite
that's
player.
right.
I
The
was just
level
gonna
one
say.
tiny throw into your freaking just explode everything.
Yeah.
And who here is looking forward to mining other players' secret shops?
For everyone.
And the runes. And everything.
I'm assuming it's going to be like the Warcraft 3 mine, or what are they called? What were the mines that you could put down? Goblin mines?
Landmines.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Goblin
Goblin landmines. And I'm assuming you can deward them, maybe?
You can have
You
20 of them.
You should be
Yeah.
able to deward them.
Yeah, you
so,
can deward them. They explode when you do though.
So I guess Zeus is going to be a bigger pick now, because...
Against him, yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, Zeus is going to be a
Zeus right
techies
now
counter.
is such a good counter to something like techies.
There's one problem though. His range sucks, so he'll get in the range of the mines trying to auto attack. They have a
But
large
you could,
range.
I mean, like,
The lightning bolt that reveals it though has a pretty far range.
Aren't
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
going to
but
be like 2
Aren't they magic
bloodstones.
immune? I'm pretty sure they are magic immune.
They
It
might
still
be
gives
magic.
invis.
Just,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about
See
giving
numbers.
vision. That's
Yeah.
all it's about.
Yeah,
it's-
but it doesn't have the attack range. That's what I meant. Zeus has shitty attack range. You need someone with like 600 attack range to deal with it.
grab Alina with it and call it a day.
Does he have farther than 100 attack range?
Because he has to be standing on
I
top of
think
the
it's
mine
like
for it to go off.
340 or something, I don't know.
The range on the mines are 100.
Sorry, I was talking about his ultimate mines because it's pretty much the same thing as his other ones, but
Well,
you can trigger him.
You got to think about it. His lightning, what is it called? His W is lightning strike. It's not arc light or
No.
not chain
Collecting
lightning.
is his Q.
lightning bolt or something.
Lightning
Yeah.
bolt. His lightning bolt reveals. We've already tested it as a support in some of these other games, where we use Zeus to deward everything as a. I think I played him as a 4 support the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played him as a 4 support, and just dropping lightning bolts, and great for dewarding. So I mean, it's going to be a very hard counter to him, to techies. As far as that goes, I'm not going to stop
So
the
everyone
suicide.
knows, first week after international, as soon as he gets at it, we're gonna only see him, nothing else. Every single
course.
game.
And first week, you're only going to see Zeus for me.
It's like when Meepo came out, everyone was going to play him incredibly
But there's
wrong,
some-
and it's just going to be...
Yeah, and then he just
Yeah,
got
but that one
stomped.
got-
And then all of a sudden now if you see a Meepo pick.
We're like, ooh, Earthshaker.
Hold on, Mick, say that again. You actually kind of zoned out on mine.
Meepo, when he came out, it was like every single game had a Meepo because everyone thought they knew how to play him, but there's like that one guy out of every 10 who you're like, okay, like I just got absolutely wrecked after. It's going to be the same with techies. No one's going to know how to play him right, and everyone's going to think, oh, techies, he's so freaking good, and just like Meepo, he's so freaking good, but no one knows how to play him.
Well, what's the deal?
This is how you play him. Go, place mines, watch explosions. That's it. That's how you play techies.
Well, but he suicides as his ultimate, right?
No,
No, his ultimate is detonating all of them.
Yeah, his ultimate is basically the suicide. No, you just fucked me over, Zeke. Fuck you.
You can
welcome.
level 1 suicide.
massive explosions. His ultimate is massive explosions. Pretty much, giant mines, which you can trigger from across the map.
So, do you guys want me to just read them out?
Go ahead. I'd love that.
Landmines. Range 100. Radius 200. Full damage radius 500. Half damage radius. Stasis trap. Plants an invisible stasis trap that stuns nearby enemy units when detonated. Range 150. Radius 200. Activation radius 450. Stun radius.
Yeah, that's basically...
Suicide squad attack is going to look like it's his E, and that's 200 full damage radius, 500 half radius, 500 half damage radius. Full damage is going to be 650, 850, 1,150, and 1,550, and half damage is according.
So basically, always suicide no matter what. If someone tries to kill you, so you need a silence to kill techies.
Well, it's as Mike said, you do the tiny bomb. You're going to have Tinies throwing techies at people, and then they're going to explode for 650 damage, level 1.
Well, I wonder, is there going to be
you get first blood and then suicide, so it's like you don't. It's like a win-win.
Yeah.
Well, do you get a countdown on? Do you
No,
get a countdown
I'm
on
pretty sure it's
techies?
instant.
I don't believe so. I think it's just
Suicide.
An instant suicide.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to see, and is it going to be pure damage or magic damage?
It's pure, if I remember.
Wow. So you're going to see.
The one, it was pure damage.
You're going to see.
The notes here say that it's composite damage, but that's like
So it's
theory crafting.
axis then.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of TAs with the refraction. You're going to see a lot of Zeuses for true sight, stuff like that.
That's why I pick it.
PA is going to be a big one because 50% dodge.
That's only for attacks, not for spells, Zeke.
But Faceless can
But I
backtrack
think it's
them.
pure.
Faceless
Yeah, Faceless
can.
will be able to backtrack them.
How can you backtrack 20 mines if you're lucky?
Well, but no, I'm talking about the suicide.
How many damage do they do? I forgot. Like, they do pretty substantial damage.
The landmines do radius, no, full damage, 300, 400, 500, 600.
Per mine.
Per
Per
mine.
Per
mine.
mine? 600
20
damage?
20 mines per, you can be placed at a time.
Yeah, so that's Rex. So you can basically have random insta-kill spots around the map.
But the problem with techies has always been this. At level 1, there's a 25-second cooldown on placing mines. So if you want to sit in one spot for 3 minutes dropping 4 mines, 5 mines, 6 mines sort of thing, you go for it. Have fun. The team's probably going to find you and kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
this is
even
what
at
you
level
usually-
4, it's a 10-second cooldown.
So, do the mines stay spawned, do you think?
Yeah.
Or will they despawn?
Yeah,
They'll
spawn.
stay there up until you put the 21st mine, then the oldest mine will explode.
So, just like TA.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Alright, well, I guess that's going to do it for today. I think next time, how do you guys feel about talking about Beyond the Summit and some of the other tournaments coming up between now and then?
Go with that.
Sure.
Do that and kind of talk about some of the compendium stuff. I believe the predictions will be closed. I want to see how bad everybody did.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I have a feeling there are several people that are
It's gonna be
just
interesting, to say the least.
Chinese Dota destroys my compendium. I think that'll be the be for the next
Title?
episode. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. But,
I want to guess something right now. I'm pretty sure that no one is gonna get the see if you were perfect.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. See if you were perfect. I think wasn't just for the qualifiers. It's going to be for the international itself. But I have a feeling it's going to be kind of like the NCAA brackets for basketball. How nobody ever gets it. So,
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is, though. Alright, guys, do you all want to say goodbye?
Yeah, it was fun. See you guys next week.
Bye!
Yeah, that's it.
I came
See
in
ya.
late.
Sell the cheese.
Sell the cheese.
Remember to
Feel
check out everybody else's
Okay.
channels. Anybody who has channels, now's the time to plug them.
Lane Buddies,
Yeah, Lane Buddies.
Lane Buddies, only been a month since.
Yeah.
Hey,
I like stuff.
heart problems, then we had to move, and then I had a car wreck, so Lane Buddies had some trouble. I'm just saying. Just saying. We'll get started up soon. Let's come and stop.
Just so you know, Dota Cinema stole their idea.
How so?
No,
It's
they're
not
doing
just Dota Song.
A to Z,
each
dual
outfit.
lanes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.